front.
Now, Darrell, some of the fast cars start in the back, but the car that was least quick in practice is the car that drew the pole, and that's the number 11 of Jeffrey Bodine.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This is not your favorite car. This is a car that your crew chief's going to say, use it up. We're not going to need it anymore this week.
Well, because of that, DW, this is it right here. 70 laps. Reach up there and pull them belts tight.
And now we're about to hear the second most famous words in racing.
Let's go, racing boys. Boogity, boogity, boogity.
A 20-lap heat race, and Jimmy Johnson, in his first front shootout, streaks out away from the field.
That's not a good thing. You don't want to get too far out there because all they're going to do is catch you and pass you.
And they get lined up behind you and you're out there by yourself. If you're poking a hole in the air for them, they're just going to get right to you in a hurry. It'll take them about a lap with the restrictor plates to really get wound up.
Kurt Busch is locked on the back bumper of Johnson's Chevrolet.
That's what is a good deal, is when you jump out there and somebody goes with you, and you can kind of get out of this mess right here. Here we go, 3 wide, right off. We haven't even made a lap yet. Folks, 3 wide means there's not enough room for 3 cars all the way around this racetrack. That yellow line will dictate that.
Bodine kicking up a little bit of speedy drive there as they work by him around the outside.
I believe he's smoking just a little bit, isn't he?
I think that may be state drive, but he started on the pole, and in 1 lap, he's almost in the back. So that car is definitely not up to speed.
See that yellow line all the way around the bottom of this racetrack, that out of bounds. You'll be tempted to go there, but you better not go there. They'll bring you in black flag.
If you go below the yellow line and advance your position, then they'll bring you in. If you go below the yellow line and don't, then they might let you slide.
Kevin Harvick all the way to the bottom of the racetrack in that red and silver 29. The back end slithers as he tries to pull that lane forward.
Well, right now you're on low air. Tire pressures are a little bit low. Cars wiggle around, move around a little bit. Got to be careful right now that everything comes up to temperature.
And what we're hearing, that smoke from the 11 car, Jeffrey Bodine, is a rear tire rubbing. There you see it right there. What he's hoping, he's went to the back of the pack. He's hoping that maybe he'll get a caution and he can come to pit road and fix that without going a lap down.
I think it was the tire rubbing all right, but I think of all those cars going by him, it was rubbing up against him.
Johnson, Busch, Rudd, Ricky Craven, the lone Pontiac in this race, and Dale Jarrett, the front 5.
You know, another thing, DW, they'll start the air pressure down in these tires just a little bit because they're going to grow as they run a long ring run. So maybe the hope is also when the air pressure grows a little bit, the tire will skinny up. Maybe quit rubbing the quarter panel.
Whoa, bump and run.
It won't flex as much. Oh, yeah, this is what this race is all about right here, folks. Side by side, these cars will look like they've been run at the Saturday night short track we were talking about when it's over with.
And this is happening at 185 to 190 miles an hour.
Ricky Craven almost scraped the outside wall. And you see that Brian Ort's machine diving for second place.
He got it. What he did is he just got a real slingshot move and went to the inside, and he made the pass. That car looks like it's performing pretty well. That's a new Pontiac for Craven with Richard Childress power.
Now he's lined up with Johnson. It's Kevin Harvick on the outside with Todd Bodine in tow. Jeffrey Bodine pitted.
Ward Burton in the 22 car, he's trying to get help from Ryan Newman in the 12 car behind him. And again, these guys, they're not thinking anything about running 3 wide all the way around this racetrack.
Well, the cars right now are handling the best they're going to handle because the tires are fresh. The tires are coming up to temperature. And I want you to look at that. It looks like an Easter egg hunt. All those different colors all bunched together right there.
Well, it's 7/10 of a second from 1st to 18th right now. You can't even think about that distance.
That's all the Easter eggs still in the basket.
That's right.
Don't break one.
Don't break one.
Tight and tense. The rule changes over the winter to make these cars all equal. How close can you get?
Well, somebody needs to remind these guys that, you know, we're just in the early stage of this. They've got a 20-lap race. We still got 50 laps to go after this.
Darrell, one other thing I'm noticing right now, guys that were fast in practice last night, they started in the back, they're still hung in the back. Terry Labonte, Dale Earnhardt Jr., these guys had great practice runs, but they can't fight their way through yet.
Well, if the track was wider, they could, Jeff, but there's nowhere to go. It's blocked.
Nowhere to go, buddy.
Steve Burns with an update on Jeffrey Bodine.
Mikey brought his car to pit road. They took the left side tires off. They thought they had a rub. Crewmen looking at the tires. They can't find any kind of a mark on the tires. So Jeffrey's going to pull the 11 car into the garage. The vibration they had won't go away.
Now, this is just like interstate traffic right here. You say, if I could get around all these guys, I could go off and leave them. But there's no way to get around them. The track is covered.
So wide.
It's covered. As they go along, they'll start to spread out a little bit. Then we might see some passing.
Now at the front, teammates nose to tail. Kurt Busch, or no, that's Ward Burton right there with him. Kurt Busch
Leading the race.
further back is Matt Kenseth.
And I tell you what, with the new body changes, all the cars fairly much being aero equal. We have a Ford, a Dodge, a Chevy, and a Pontiac, the top four right now.
There's Matt Kenseth, that black and yellow car, the meat and the sandwich.
I know they've talked about making the cars all the same and they'll all be equal that way. I've never seen two cars alike. So you can have the same rules, you can build them all alike. Some of them are going to be better than others.
That's the way it always works out.
As you can see, they're starting to spread out a little bit, getting a little breakaway here in the front. A couple more guys getting lined up here. Kenseth and Craven.
Now Kenseth fought his way out of the middle of that pack. Here's Matt Kenseth, black and yellow car, moving his way up to 5th place.
And what those top 5 or 6 love to see is the group behind them continue to run side by side. If they'll stay lined up, they can pull away from that group.
Well, what everybody would like to see right now is to get lined up and get out of this 3 and 4 wide stuff so that you don't take a chance of taking yourself out right now when it doesn't mean a whole lot.
And where you can take a breath for a second.
That wouldn't be all I'd be taking. I'd be taking oxygen. This is what you call slicing and dicing.
Bumper tag at over 180 miles an hour. Ward Burton is 22 underneath Ryan Newman, trying to claw his way back up into the top 5.
And pretty much willing to give that position up right now. Ryan moved up and let him go because it's not worth contesting right now.
Coming around to complete 8 of this first 20-lap heat in the Budweiser Shootout on 5.